Hi there, this is Jenny Walker from DigiGoods and Printables ELA. Welcome to Argumentative Essay Writing, Segment 11, Evidence and Elaboration. If you have found this video from YouTube, you can find a link to the workshop in the description. Great news! You've already gathered your evidence in a previous section, so most of the hard work is done. Let's dig a little bit deeper into evidence and elaboration so that you can have awesome body paragraphs. Start off by watching these two great videos. And don't be alarmed if the terminology is a little bit different. When you hear the word citations, it just means citing evidence. The second video will familiarize you with elaboration. In this video, he calls it explanation, but it's the same thing as elaboration. To elaborate means to expand or explain. We will discuss this after you've watched the videos. Go ahead and pause this video now and watch. Okay, so now that you have collected your evidence and you've watched the videos and you understand how to cite it, it's time to build the elements of your body paragraphs. To build your body paragraphs, you will need to dig a little deeper into your evidence and make sure that this evidence still works with your essay. Often, people will change directions as they progress through their writing. This is fine, but you need to continuously make sure that everything still relates and supports the claims of your thesis statement. And while we're at it, let's discuss elaboration. Elaborate. You can't simply drop evidence into the body paragraph and be done with it. That wouldn't be a very convincing argument. Instead, you will need to discuss, explain, and expand upon your evidence. This is called elaborating. Elaboration makes your writing rich, convincing, and easy to read. You can elaborate both before and after, or either of the two. The next slide will provide you with questions that will help you elaborate on your evidence. Answer as many questions as possible, but remember they will not all apply to every particular topic. Here are the questions that help you elaborate. Ask yourself, what is the significance of the evidence presented? What is meant by the evidence presented? What does the evidence prove? How do the subtopics relate, or what theme can be found in this evidence? These are all questions that will help you compile your elaboration. Let's see how this looks in an example. In black, we have the evidence, and the red is the elaboration. This is the discussion about the evidence. The most impressionable teens can be led to make bad decisions involving drugs, sex, and even crime. According to WebMD, teenagers who are more likely to succumb to peer pressure often feel isolated from peers, lack direction in their lives, are uncertain about their place in a peer group, and have low self-esteem. This is why it is vital for teens to choose their friends wisely and never be afraid to let a bad relationship go. So notice that this paragraph does not just present evidence, it discusses the evidence before and after. This part of the evidence, or the elaboration, explains what is meant by it. Remember this question? What is meant by the evidence presented? And this evidence explains why the evidence is important. Remember this question? Explain the significance of the evidence. So this is an easy tip for you to elaborate on your evidence when you're writing your paragraphs. On the following slides in this segment, there's a place provided for you to compile your evidence and elaboration to get it ready for your body paragraphs. Now, if you're an advanced writer, with the permission of your teacher, you might be able to skip these slides and go straight into writing paragraphs. But always follow the instructions of your teacher. Your teacher knows you best. And if you're jumping ahead without the support of these slides, Make sure to add your topic sentences, evidence, and elaboration in your body paragraphs, and of course, your transitions. Okay, you'll notice that there are gold stars on these slides indicating that you can collect this work when you're ready to compile it for your paragraphs. So each slide has a place for you to paste your evidence and then a place for you to elaborate on that evidence by answering as many of these questions as possible. So this would be body paragraph 1, and then this would be your elaboration for body paragraph 2. You can duplicate this slide as many times as you need. Let's say you have 2 pieces of evidence that you need to elaborate on for this paragraph. You can hit Control plus C and then Control plus V and duplicate this for more space if you need it. And then notice that, oops, I lost my place. And then below this is a place for you to paste the evidence for your second body paragraph. You may not have 3 pieces of evidence. You may only have 1 or 2 pieces of evidence, but this gives you enough space to provide 3 pieces of evidence, which is more than enough. And then below that is a place to elaborate as well. And then you have a spot for your third body paragraph, but if you're only writing a 4-paragraph essay, because you only have a 2-pronged thesis statement, you won't need this slide, and you may not even see it if your teacher removed it. You may only see what is required of you. But if you see this and you don't need it, you can skip this all together. And that concludes this segment of argumentative essay writing. I'll see you in the next video where we will discuss putting all of these elements together to build your body paragraphs. Again, if you found this video on YouTube, you can find a link to the workshop in the description. And teachers, make sure to join us on Facebook where me and other educators will be discussing grading hacks, tips, and best practices. You can find the link to our group in the description as well. As always, happy teaching and happy learning.